Tua Talk,
Tua
right?
Talk.
We
Tua
finally
Tua
got
time.
the extension in that,
Yes.
was a long process.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very debatable thing if it was even going to happen at this point, but it got done.
The part I like the most about it is the fact that for him to actually reach that number, a lot of the incentives that were placed in there rely around playoff time, like playoff wins, things like that, which is great. So if he's going to make, the 53.1 a year, it's because we made a run.
Right.
He is the perfect quarterback for us, and I think we got him at an amazing deal. Like I think it's great. Like I'm super happy with what we got from him.
No, me too.
Yeah.
I think both sides are very happy too.
Yeah.
I think Tua is extremely happy. I think the Dolphins are very happy.
Show me the money.
Buenas noches, buenos dias, hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome back to another another episode of Tranquilo Sports.
My God.
We're going Team USA, but I felt like I just had to talk Spanish to start this episode. But USA actually beat Tennis España today.
They beat Nadal and Alcaraz?
Yes, bro.
Who do we have?
Straight set, too.
Who do we have?
2 sets they beat them.
Holy shit.
I don't even know who they were, to be honest.
I thought they were going to be run away.
I thought they were going to run away with it.
Yeah.
But we won in two clean sets. I was actually shocked by that. It was a quarterfinals, too. So it was a pretty big dub. So shout out USA. But, yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of Tua extension. Big news that broke over the week.
Finally happened.
We've been back and forth with this now for a couple weeks. But it finally happened, and I think we're all very happy with, at least on our side, very happy with the way things went down. And and then we'll get into some Olympic golf, which technically will be starting after this pod is dropped because it's early
like
morning.
3 a.m.,
It's technically starting tonight. So a couple of the rounds will be done probably by the time you see it, but we'll still have 3 rounds of golf after that.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get into a little bit of the breakdown of how this format actually works. It's really not that complicated, but I honestly had no idea. So I don't think a lot of people out there know how it kind of works. So I think we're in for a good little pod today.
100%. I do want to give one shout out to Bam Adebayo.
Oh yes, great performance.
Absolute great performance. He's been killing it on Team USA. They beat the living piss out of Sudan today, and he was one of the best players. He's killing it. He's proving himself. Embiid didn't even play a minute. Jason Tatum didn't play a minute last game.
Yeah.
And Bam's just showing why he's one of the best in the league. So
Bam sure did
shout out
3 ball.
Bam. He is. Dude, he hit 2 today. He went 2 for 3.
I know. He's showing flashes of it.
I'm
kind of hyped
slowly
about
improving.
I don't know if you've made your picks yet, if your future picks yet, but lock the Heat in right now. The odds are fucking phenomenal. Lock it in. G team just summer league team just
that guy
won.
Ware is nasty.
Summer team just won.
Yeah.
They balled there. They didn't even lose a game in the summer league.
Yeah.
They were balling. That talent looks good there. Bam looks great. I think Bam's going to evolve tremendously this year.
League, baby. He's been
coming in the
every
form
every year.
of the 3 ball. I'm calling it right now.
Expanding his range.
And it is going to open up this offense. It's going to open up the kind of the way that we can flow. It's going to open up Jimmy Butler's world. And we are going to shock people with the roster that we have.
Especially if you can play a bit more of that 4 role.
100%. Especially now with Ware coming in,
Yeah.
I think that's a potential for sure. I think this team is going to shock people, and the way the odds are right now, with all the big moves that happened so far in the offseason, no one is going to even think about the Heat as a pick.
Love
and
it.
I'm talking right now. Here we are. Cut it up.
Cut it.
Wait. we'll cut this up in July next year.
Yeah.
Heat finals. And I don't know if you saw the video that I sent you earlier today. Vaughn had a script that he leaked in a pod recently.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
So
Should I watch it live?
Huh?
Should I watch it?
Yeah, watch it.
Let me see this thing. You can keep talking through. I want to hear. I just gotta see it though.
Vaughn has a leak, and it's a leak script of the Miami Dolphins plus. So I think you'll see it here.
I would say slight adversity in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like 1 or 2 games, and then like we just end up taking off and then just continue that into playoffs. And then we get into a game, just like for the Dolphins, it's shaky in the game. Like it's looking slim in the game, right? But then we rally together, like they had us in the first half, boom, then we rally together, end up coming out on top, winning that game, going on to win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Oh, they did right after the Florida Panthers, won the Stanley Cup.
Hell yeah.
Miami Heat, you gotta do it. Boom, Miami Heat end up going crazy.
We're gonna get a 3 championship year according to Vaughn this year.
Shout out Vaughn.
So
yeah. I already locked in my Dolphins future.
Script's been leaked. If you don't want to book it now, book your future Dolphins pick. Book your future Heat pick right now.
And you know the script is true because he didn't mention the Marlins. Who
This is true.
We can quickly mention
the fire
later
sale that has
Jazz and
occurred.
the fire sale
Yeah.
that's like classic Marlins and
Not only is it classic Marlins,
He's killing it, too.
Jazz leaves and he is on a tear. He is on a tear.
That's the script. If there's an MLB script, it's always Marlins star leaves to blow up even more.
Yep.
So
it never ends. It's whatever. Well, that's a conversation for another day. But I love the Heat. Good shout out there to Bam.
Yeah.
We look like the true form NBA stars.
I mean, if these guys don't win gold, it's like
it's the real team. And then real quick, another shout out, Luol Deng. Have you heard that story?
I listened a little bit to because I was watching it today, and I know D Wade was talking a little bit about
badass. He's
Luol
basically
Deng.
funding the South Sudan team.
I didn't know that. No,
everything.
That's awesome.
From the jerseys to their travel,
baby,
to their practices, like everything and anything to just have a functional operating team. He is paying out of his own pocket so that they can even be there, basically.
And they're not bad.
No, they've competed.
Dude, I mean, they were beating us in the exhibition beforehand.
And they beat someone in the first round of group stage.
No, I think they'll advance. Like it'll be us and them. I think it was 2 people advance or is it just 1? 2. So
I want to say it's 2.
Yeah, I don't know,
That's
but
typical.
if it is 2, I think they could advance. They're pretty good.
Shout out to him. That's a pretty cool thing that he's doing there.
Yeah.
But let's get into
one last thing.
Oh, another shout out.
Like, subscribe, comment, follow, everything.
Shit.
Do it.
Good shit.
It helps us out, and
Absolutely.
And also get Underdog. Use code Tranquilo. Go get some bonus cash. Go play some contests. Have the chance to win some money. It helps the pod out. So
absolutely, amen.
That's my shout out.
Good looks. Good looks. Absolutely.
Come on.
So Tua talk. Right?
Tua talk.
We finally got the extension in that was a long process.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very debatable thing if it was even going to happen at this point, but it got done. When practice happened that day, it felt like it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it did. And it's a very contract friendly. I think 4-year, 217, 15, somewhere in that range.
Somewhere out that.
Forget the exact number.
I just know it's 51.3 a year. And then the guaranteed is 167.
212, 4-year, 212, yeah.
4-year, 212. I mean, I love it. I think it's, like you mentioned, like it's very team friendly. Because a lot of the people are just going to keep looking at that 53.1 number, which is obviously, I would assume the number that Tua wanted to get to, so he was just right above Goff. But the part I like the most about it is the fact that for him to actually reach that number, a lot of the incentives that were placed in there rely around playoff time, like playoff wins, things like that, which is great. So if he's going to make, the 53.1 a year, it's because we made a run.
Right.
So in that case, I love it. And obviously he got a ton of guaranteed money. But it's still, in terms of where it ranks with all these quarterbacks, he's still like 8th, I think.
8th.
Which is a steal for a guy who just led the league in passing last year. So I love it.
Second in QBR. Top 5 in completion percentage.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw Louis Riddick's rant today on ESPN.
No, I haven't
all
seen
over
it.
Twitter.
I saw Dan Orlovsky's.
Yeah,
And
Louis Riddick all over Twitter today was backing up Tua.
Yeah.
To the T. Like,
love it.
Throwing every stat at everyone, saying like, and it's true. Like the narrative is always like when the Dolphins win, it's credit to the defense and credit to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
when the Dolphins lose, it's Tua's fault.
Yeah,
and that's it. And not to say there's always
some of it does.
There's
some of it does fall
always going to be a good amount of blame to go around, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna find a moment somewhere in the game.
Some's on Tua,
exactly. And Louis Riddick brings that up. He says, Mike McDaniel abandoned a run on 3rd and 1 and puts Tua in a strange spot that maybe you can avoid that, right? And then Tua doesn't exceed in that moment, and then all of a sudden Tua is the problem, right? So there's so many factors, yet Tua is always kind of the scapegoat when things don't go right. And I think it comes with the territory of being a quarterback in the NFL. And again, if you're going to be that top 5 guy, those things are going to happen. But I don't think it's fair when you compare to some of the other quarterbacks that are out there. They don't get that same hate, and Riddick was kind of defending Tua in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, Tua gets a ton of hate.
I think it's because of us.
It honestly,
the fan reaction that comes with the media.
Yeah, it's true because we feed into it, and obviously we're fighting for our guy. And there's obviously things that Tua can improve on. But
every quarterback can.
But there's a lot of things that he just doesn't get credit for.
The only person that you can make an argument that, and I think everyone still can get better, is freaking Patrick Mahomes. After that, let's have an honest conversation. Lamar Jackson, freaking stud of a quarterback.
You got all right. Let's rank where they are. Though.
No. But
that's a 2-time MVP.
No. This has nothing to do with the fact of who's better in terms of rankings. What you'll see where I'm going with this. So you have Lamar Jackson, you have Josh Allen, you have Jalen Hurts, you have Joe Burrow, right? All guys that have had success late in seasons, right? Lamar, like you said, 2-time MVP. Joe Burrow made it to a Super Bowl.
He lost,
right? This is where I'm getting to, right? Jalen Hurts lost Super Bowl, right? Matthew Stafford won one, but later in his career, and was in a point where they built a team to do that, and then look what happened after, right? So you have all these quarterbacks in the sphere of elite, right? Which I think Tua falls into that category of all these guys. Obviously, the Lamar better. We can go into a whole spiel of who's better and who's not, but it's Patrick Mahomes here, and then there's this bubble of other quarterbacks, right? All those guys are extremely talented and are extremely elite, but they're not winning Super Bowls. And isn't the ultimate goal in all of this, at the end of the day, to win Super Bowls, right? Lamar Jackson has folded in big moments. Joe Burrow has folded in big moments. Jalen Hurts has folded in big moments. Yet people are not going to speak about those guys the same way Tua would if he's in that same predicament.
The only issue with that is that they have also, while they've not necessarily hit the mountaintop, and they've had their, they'll have their bad moments, they've also had really good moments in those playoff runs that have gotten them to even win a game. Obviously, the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game.
Tua's played one playoff game.
I know.
In negative 26 degrees.
Yeah, we were there. It was.
I don't know how many quarterbacks are actually going to thrive on the road.
His was also more injury, and then just November, December category.
I agree.
Listen,
Lamar's been in the league a lot longer. Josh Allen's been in the league a lot longer. I mean, Burrow had a great, successful year in the begining.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of credit to be given to the Bengals defense on why they got there. They were averaging like less than 23 points a game.
What Tua has now, essentially. In a chase.
Weapons.
And
so,
weapons. And
Like, also has an injury problem.
He also has an injury problem. Exactly.
Way more injury prone than Tua.
He is. Season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
So there's why are we not talking about the durability of a Joe Burrow, right? Like,
I do. Don't worry. Don't you worry about that.
There's so many things that happen to other quarterbacks.
Went to the Super Bowl. I mean, what could you say about
nothing? You literally could say nothing.
Yeah. The only thing is,
I'm not taking anything away from the guy because I do think he's really good.
Yeah, he's good. He's worse than Tua.
Because he can come back. He can come out here and have a year one situation and ball out again.
Bro kind of sucks. Actually, that's the take I've actually been sitting on. Not that he sucks. I think he's the most overrated quarterback in the league. And he's still good, obviously, but like he's not that much better than him. Like Like there's for me the tiers.
I just don't think he's proven enough to say that he's that guy.
Unfortunately for me, I feel like it's Mahomes, Jackson.
Well, it goes right here. It goes Mahomes, then it goes Josh Allen, Lamar.
And everybody else. I think there's a big drop off.
And then it's pretty
There's
much
a huge drop off
not
after
everybody else because
after
there's also
Mahomes.
I think there's the tier 3 where I think it's like the Staffords. I think that's where the Tua is. That's where Dak is. Actually, Dak's all the way at the bottom. He's QB 32. But like that, I think Tua's in that third tier. As opposed to like there's guys that, and he's not the top.
There's only one quarterback
either.
in tier 1 though.
Yeah, it's tier 1, and then there's only like I'd say 2. Maybe I feel like I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Yeah,
It's Lamar and Josh Allen.
Right now.
Yeah, see, CJ Stroud's one that.
But
I think
everyone's.
He's in tier 3.
He's in
right now.
Right now, but
Right now.
he's 1 year in. He had a great year. Nothing to take away from the guy. But where is the where's the narrative of where we can actually evaluate quarterbacks after we've seen enough of them?
I don't know. What we've seen Tua 4 years now.
Right, and he's proven that he's elite.
I really think we saw 2 years of Tua actually playing football.
We haven't even seen enough of Joe Burrow yet.
Yeah.
Those first 2 years of the Brian Flores era, I mean, those are
The conversations we got to start having more of like their legacy in the NFL and like who they are as quarterback is the Josh Allen and the Lamars of the world. Mm-hmm. They've been in the league for a long time and they haven't won.
Yeah, and at least Lamar's got MVPs. Josh Allen's got nothing.
Yeah, like those are honest conversations. You got to look in the mirror.
There's also just sometimes like it's just the eye test. And again, I'm a Tua. Like Tua,
what the fuck does the eye test mean if you don't win a Super Bowl?
I know, but it depends on where you kind of rank. You can kind of rank yourself in terms of
physically. If you're to build a perfect quarterback, like
I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. No, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Josh has the height.
No, but it's Patrick Mahomes.
No,
it's Patrick. Yeah. The perfect quarterback. His name is Patrick Mahomes.
I just can't stand the fact.
Yes. Yeah.
Physically, like
it'd be a Josh Allen Lamar hybrid. He'd be unstoppable.
Would you rather?
He does, but I'm just saying. Like, imagine how much faster.
Okay, let me put it this way. Would you rather have, let's see, like who's like the most mid quarterback in the NFL right now?
I can rank the quarterbacks right now.
No. I'm not trying to make this a QB rank thing. That's what I don't want to do. That's what I'm trying to actually avoid. What I want to get to.
Some people off, Andre.
No, because everyone does QB rankings and they're all fucking stupid.
But we're smart.
Let's start a dialogue.
I'm trying to start a dialogue. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Name some names and I'll tell you who I'll take over.
Okay. Well, no. Wait. What I'm trying to get to is like give me like the most mid quarterback that you could think of.
Baker Mayfield.
Trevor Lawrence.
No, Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Like his expectations, he was a backup, and he actually
had a good year last year.
Middle is middle. Like mid is middle.
No, mid is like this
guy
is
the
top 15 is technically middle. So
Baker, I guess, being a mid quarterback isn't even bad. By the way. But like Baker Mayfield's
would you have Baker Mayfield or Tua?
Obviously Tua.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 2-part question.
Obviously.
Okay. Would you rather have Tua and win no Super Bowls, or would you have Baker Mayfield and win 2 Super Bowls?
Obviously Baker Mayfield.
And 2 Super Bowls, right?
2 Super Bowls.
So the whole concept of the eye test and having a fucking stud at quarterback and not winning Super Bowls doesn't fucking mean anything.
But then if that by that logic, then you don't pay Tua.
That's why I think Eli Manning.
But why?
Because then you just build the rest of the team.
Well, yes.
Because there's no point in paying him. I'll take Baker Mayfield.
But you're gonna give yourself the best chance by getting the best quarterback on the field.
You'll have a better chance with Tua. I agree. Yes.
But I mean, they're gonna pay Josh Allen. They're gonna pay Lamar Jackson. They paid those guys. But
I also think that they are better than Tua.
Like fair.
I think the Tua contract is amazing. Like it's perfect.
At this point in the NFL, it's a very friendly contract.
I'm just saying. I'm trying like.
Mahomes got paid like 4 years ago, dude. Like it's a different era of the salary.
Yeah, and he's about to get fucking 60.
He's about to break
maybe more.
They gave him like a 10-year contract when they signed him.
Yeah, but he can restructure.
He's gonna restructure that.
Below that. They're gonna go over because they all signed their extensions like way longer.
Yeah, like I would rather have Tua in this contract than pretty much all the contracts that were signed this year. Then
definitely Trevor's.
If you really break it down,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's the reason. The only reason why I like this contract the most is not because of that. I like it because of the guaranteed money. I think the guaranteed money is it's a perfect spot for Tua. I
like the incentives that's attached to it too.
Yeah, I think Tua is a top 10 quarterback. I truly do. I think he's closer to 10 than he is to 1.
Is he closer to 5 or to 10?
I think Tua is probably either 8 or 9.
I have him like at 7 or 8.
I have him either 8 or 9, 8 or 9 probably.
Going to the series,
Who's okay? So and then your rankings. Who's ranked higher than Tua?
So Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen. I do have C.J. Stroud ahead of him. I think C.J. Stroud is actually.
So you have C.J. Stroud at 4.
Not at 4. Those 3 I think are the 3 best. Now I'm just kind of
You're just
not
kind of
necessarily
saying
ranking
anybody.
I'm trying to see who pops in my head.
where do you put Brock Purdy?
Probably like 14, 15. He's probably until he proves it again. I don't think he's bad. Being a top 14 quarterback is not bad at all. But I think Tua's better. I'll take Tua over Brock Purdy for sure. The one that's interesting that I do have Tua right in the same territory with him. I lean more Tua because I think this guy just got really lucky, blessed in where he is Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is very good, but I also don't think he's like as good as that one season. But he can prove it again this year. But I would probably have Jalen Hurts right around the Tua range in the top 10. I'd probably still put Matthew Stafford ahead of Tua. The one I probably won't just because of the injury is Rodgers. But if Rodgers didn't get injured last year, you'd just kind of have to because he was literally a 2-time MVP less
Too
than
much
5
of a
years
big
ago.
question mark over
Herbert I have right around Tua as well. I'd probably either have him similar to Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts, Tua, and Herbert are 7, 8, 9. Whatever order you want to put them in, I think they're kind of so close. Then I have Burrow at 10, and then
so you have C.J. Stroud at
five.
around 4 or 5. You have Stafford around 4 or 5, and then
who am I? I feel like I'm missing somebody.
And then Rodgers possibly 6 if he doesn't get hurt. But
no,
since he got
Rodgers
hurt,
I have it now. Like current Rodgers is.
Where do you put Joe
Let me see.
Flacco?
31. He deserves to be a
Kirk
starter.
Kirk Cousins is somebody that I think is probably a little better than Tua, but before this injury, I don't know how he's going to come back.
Tua 6'7". I'm telling you.
There's some rankings that have him like 14.
Yeah,
I don't
those
know.
are haters.
I have to see more from Jordan Love. Kyler Murray's probably
Love
around.
should be number 1 apparently,
Yeah,
according to the way he's paid.
They made him the highest paid quarterback. Why isn't anyone talking
Because
he won a playoff
everybody
game.
else thinks he's deserving of it.
It's literally because
he won the playoff
won
game.
a couple playoff games. That's what you do. You win a couple playoff games, you kind of buy yourself immunity. Kyler Murray's in the same range. Dak's in the same. There's just a lot of guys in that range, but I would still put Tua in that 8 to 9 range.
It's fair.
And which is amazing. That's that, and we got him essentially at that spot where these guys are paying. And I do like Jared Goff. Jared Goff got a crazy contract. He's perfect for Detroit. But I think Tua's better than Goff,
right?
In my opinion. Same with Jordan Love. I don't think he's proven anything yet to be the highest paid quarterback ever. Trevor Lawrence is another one that's kind of in that same spot.
I think what's happened is teams are just buying in on the fact that they know what they have in those players, and they're betting on the fact that
because
you got to pay these guys. If not, then it's a whole restart.
Yeah. The thing with Tua is the fact that I know, and I'll say Joe Burrow. Honestly, people need to talk about that more because I've been saying that he is honestly way more injury prone than Tua is. But Tua's injury, the fact that his was like that crazy thing that happened, his is more brain, especially when it comes to the CTE stuff. Yeah. It scares people a bit more. But then, he comes out and plays a full season and he's great. But obviously that kind of plays a part for sure. And then it's, the fact that he just doesn't, like the eye test, he doesn't look as sexy as these other guys, but he gets the job done. And he's perfect. The thing what people don't also, a different part of this conversation is also that how important that obviously football is a team sport. Like you need to be in the right system. Jalen Hurts is in a perfect system for him.
Of course, 100%.
Mahomes I think Mahomes is one of those unicorns that would work anywhere, but he's in a perfect system for him. Lamar Jackson is in a perfect system for him. Tua right now is in a perfect system for him. There's guys that like a guy like Russ, where he was in a perfect system, he leaves, and people think he stinks now. Right, I don't think Russ stinks at all. I just don't think that the Broncos was a system that fit him necessarily. And all that is you have to have a coach that matches your quarterback essentially, and that's a bigger part of it too. Because obviously all these guys, like there's things that some of these guys do that you look at like wow, like only like he can do that. Mahomes, Josh Allen's one of those guys that like he's just like sometimes you'll see him and you're like oh my god, only he can do that. But then he'll also throw 15 picks. Like Mahomes is like an insane story, but everybody else does have their flaws. but it's a combination of perfect system. And then like some guys just have attributes that are just like, like Josh Allen's faster than Tua. He throws further than Tua.
He's 260 pounds.
He's massive. He's big. He can take hits. Same with Herbert. Herbert can take a lot of hits. He's bigger. He's
right.
Like that's kind of like more what I'm talking about. But in terms of like the contract and our system, he is the perfect quarterback for us. And I think we got him at an amazing deal. Like I think it's great. Like I'm super happy with what we got from him.
No, me too.
Yeah.
I think both sides are very happy too.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Tua is
yeah.
extremely happy. I think the Dolphins are very happy.
Show me the money.
And which apparently that was a bet from the QB coach to say it.
Oh really?
And he did it. He was like, one of the QB coaches told him, he's like, you won't go up there and say, show me the money. He's like, nah. And he's like nah, you gotta do it. He's like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And he did it. So that was cool. But the really thing too, like I think we got to talk about with Tua Suit. Mike McDaniel saved his career.
Yeah.
Because when Brian Flores was there,
he wouldn't be on this team anymore with Brian Flores.
He would have retired.
Yeah, probably.
It would have been like there have been things that have come out after the post Brian Flores era of how Tua just genuinely had zero belief in himself.
Yeah.
Because the talk in the amongst Brian Flores and the staff was that Tua's not the guy, and we got to figure out how to get Tua out of this system, basically. And Tua and Brian Flores are not the same type of guy. Mm-mm. They never meshed together. And Brian Flores was doing anything in his power to not make Tua the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins.
Terrible.
And it affected Tua. You could see it.
For sure.
So when Mike McDaniels came in, not only did he have to build an offense and be the guru that he is with this offense, but he had to instill a level of confidence back into Tua and be like, dude, you are the guy. This is a system that will work. I don't know if you remember, but when Mike McDaniel came in, the first thing he did was sit down with Tua and show him a bunch of tape of him about why he's so good.
It's the perfect system and the perfect guy for him.
It's not only the system, because I think a lot I think a lot of people could play well in this system.
Yes.
There's not this.
You need a quick release. You got quick reaction.
Credit to Mike McDaniel, of course. I think Tua is that much better of a guy compared to maybe some other people in this system because he fits that narrative. But Mike McDaniels as a human to Tua connection, human to human connection, like I think is something that really saved Tua in his career and the Dolphins, honestly.
Yeah.
I get that was a blessing in disguise because I remember when Flores got fired.
No matter
it was
what, we're winning the Super Bowl this year.
Like 100%. Script's written.
Script is written. We're driving to New Orleans. We're gonna do a pod from there, from Superdome, and
we're gonna do the pod in the RV on the way there because flights are fucking $1,400.
Well, no, we had to fly from the Waste Management to the Super Bowl.
Oh shit!
Down. Down. Yeah, but all in all, I'm happy for we went to training camp.
Yes. What'd you think of that first day of training camp?
It was
hard
to see from where we were at, but. The things that have been
vibe though was good.
Overall vibe's good. The boys are bulling. It was good seeing Jalen Phillips. He was doing like sprints on the side. Teron Armstead was doing like side drills too. Guys are gonna, they're getting healthier. They're trying to get in the right spot. And then our guy Vaughn had a pick, shout out. And then a
little tip ball pick. He said he did a celebration, but I didn't see the celebration.
He did like a dance. He was like, hey.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
And then the one that's been getting a ton of love is Chop. Chop has been killing it at training camp, and that's exactly what we need because
is his celebration going to be like an axe chop? That would be sick.
Yeah. I wonder.
Is that what he did in college? Okay, fire. I would love to see that.
We're going to be seeing that a lot.
Yeah, he got from the line. He got to like in point.
I saw that video. That was crazy. He looks quick,
crazy.
Man.
He's quick. He's looking awesome. And
I know it's still early, but it's good signs of what you want to see in that pick.
And I'm loving all the additions. Like I think a lot of guys.
Agba apparently is balling in practice too.
Agba, I read that too. Jonnu Smith's been balling in practice. And Poyer's also balling. He had a pick today too. Bonner, shout out Bonner.
He is apparently having a great.
Waddle gave him a huge shout out. Yeah. So the boys are bulling, baby. This is the time. It's crazy that football season. We're coming up on a year.
Secondary is balling right now.
Yeah, we're coming up on a year of this pod. It started during football season.
Yes, it did. That's
the fact that we're already back in football season is pretty crazy. But I can be more excited for this team. This is again.
It's true.
this squad is the best in our lifetime,
I think this team is starting to feel a little something too. You know, I think it's starting with day one. They're sour about the way last year ended. Yeah. You know, starting from the Tennessee game.
Yeah,
you know,
which I love that we play them again on Monday night.
On Monday night. So they're sour still from that game. Yeah. You know, and I think they have that chip on their shoulder, which they needed. And from what I was reading online, there was a point in one of these last practices that Ramsey actually got the defense together and was like, "We're done being like this."
Sometimes I almost forget we have Ramsey.
I know. That we're done being this team. 100. Like, we are going to be a physical defense this year. We are going to fly
Weaver,
to the ball.
I love the Weaver, obviously.
100%.
New coach.
But they are going to be
we're gonna be dangerous, bro.
They're going to be with a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. Obviously, like any other team, you got to be healthy. Yeah. But this team knows what they have. They know the window of opportunity that is present. And I think, like you said, we've added all the right pieces, starting with DC, starting with free agency pickups, draft picks. Yeah. It seems like the puzzle pieces make sense right now.
100%.
Long season
100%.
ahead of us.
Yeah.
Anything is freaking possible. But if you could set yourself up for success early, you're going to feel very optimistic, and you know, hopefully it translates into what we want to see. So
hell yeah, Dre. Hell yeah.
It's I'm hyped, bro.
I'm hyped, baby.
Hyped. It's football season's here.
Football season is here.
We got a preseason game tomorrow, no?
The Hall of Fame game is tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. Kind of random game, but whatever.
Was it Houston and?
It's Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah, Houston, Chicago.
Oh, Houston.
But they're not playing any of the starters.
No
like Caleb's not even going to play.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, but football's football. I'll take it. I'm not picky.
Football is football.
I'm not picky with these first couple of weeks, so I'm hyped. I think we're good. If you know, we got a couple of weeks before season starts, so maybe a little more football talk in between. But I mean, for the most part, we're ramping it up.
Yeah, for sure.
For week one. So let's get into the next big news of this week is Olympic golf, which will be starting in a few hours. So before we get into, you know, the kind of the field and all that, can you tell the people of how this golf format actually works?
Yes. So essentially it works very similarly to an elevated event. So I believe the field is 60 or 70 around there. There's no cut, so you play the whole weekend. And then you're playing essentially for obviously the 3 medals, gold, silver, bronze. And for any of the medals, if there's any ties in any scenario, there is a playoff. It doesn't matter if there's one guy winning gold and there's, you know, one guy silver and 3 guys tied for third. There's a playoff no matter what, because they need to decide who's getting the bronze. So it kind of adds that extra, because you're kind of going for that top 3. Obviously, everyone's going for gold, but to bring a medal back to your country is awesome. It's also some of the few times that guys get to compete as like for their country.
True.
It is individual. It's not teams. It's one of the few, like, not few, but individual time, because obviously when they're playing for their country, it's usually Ryder Cup and it's a team.
Exactly.
And President's Cup, things like that. This is, you're on your own, but you're representing your country usually with one other guy. Some guys only have one representative, but yeah, so it's a really cool event. Xander's obviously defending champion. And this is, like, I think not the first time, but they were saying that this event, like the Olympics doesn't normally have that big draw, because I think there's usually like a tournament during this week before, I guess.
There has been a tournament during the Olympic week in the past,
so in the past, people haven't, like, not all the top dogs have necessarily competed, but it's been changing the last couple Olympics, and then Xander winning the last one was really huge to kind of really put it more on the map. And now, obviously, you've got a lot of big names in here.
Ton.
You've got, obviously, the Americans. You've got Scotty, Xander, Maury, Wyndham Clark. You've got Hav. You got the live guys here, too. So it's kind of like a major, because you've got Rahm, Neiman. You've even got some guys like Mito.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of guys on tour that sometimes won't even make an elevated event, but they're making it here because they're representing their country. So you got guys like Nico, you got Camilo,
Rafa Campos for Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So you got a lot of, and it's their chance for everybody to compete in this really cool event. You're doing it for your country, and you can bring home some hardware for your country. So it's a really cool event, and I'm super excited to see how it turns out.
How many countries are being represented in this tournament?
I think it's like,
I feel like it's
40.
It's got to be a good amount, no? Let's see. Let's see if we can find this here.
Olympics, golf. All right.
Men's golf.
All right. So, all right,
okay, go for it.
You want to count it? All right.
I was gonna say we can count.
All right. U.S., Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Chile, China, Colombia, Denmark, Spain, Finland, France, Great Britain, Germany, India, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Mexico, Norway, New Zealand, Paraguay, Poland, Puerto Rico, South Africa, Sweden, Thailand. It's 26, Chinese Taipei.
Wow.
20. I feel like I definitely might have miscounted that. I think it's 26.
Because I'm seeing here Malaysia.
I got it. This one's from the PGA. So the U.S. has 4 guys, Argentina 2.
I'm just looking at all the flags here.
Most of them have 2. Some have 1. It's actually crazy that we're the only one that puts 4.
Yeah, I was just thinking that because we have 4. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of countries even have more than 1.
Oh, Answer's playing in this one too. So yeah, I like the fact that the other countries actually let their live guys play.
Ooh,
unlike us,
Manacero's playing in this.
Where Bryson should have been. Wait, who's?
Manacero. I don't know if we spoke about him on the last podcast. He was, I think we did. He was the one that I was mentioning that he was one of the he's an Italian guy. He was like one of the phenoms when he was like 15, 16 years old. He was supposed to be like one of the next big names in golf, right? And he won a couple like amateur events, and he looked like he was going to be the next thing. He gets his card, and he just like does terrible in every event. Like he wasn't making cuts. He just bad golf, and he ends up losing his PGA Tour card. So then he starts playing in like the DP World Tour and trying to fight his way back in it. And he was ranked like in the world rankings like 1,300. He has now jumped up to like world ranking like 120.
That's awesome.
And he's just been balling. He finished like top 10 or top 15 in the Scottish Open.
Let's go. I do. Yeah. That's why the name's not familiar.
And he's now playing in the Olympics for Italy.
Nice.
And he's been playing really good golf, and I think he's on pace now because of his rankings in the DP World Tour.
Yeah.
And some of the finishes that he's had, he'll get his PGA Tour card back.
Nice.
Awesome. And he's still young. He's only, 31. I mean, he's not
plenty to go.
Plenty of good golf ahead of him. So interesting to see that name there. But
yeah,
I mean, who knows who can come out of this?
Yeah, and I like the course. It's like the Le something France, like something national.
We got the Le Golf National in Paris, France.
And so this was a Ryder Cup venue a couple Ryder Cups ago. Or a few Ryder Cups.
So some guys are familiar with the course.
It's played every year on the DP World Tour.
Gotcha.
And some guys like Tom Kim, which is a crazy story about him, that he needs to win a medal or he's gonna go serve in the army.
Who? Tom Kim.
For Korea. Tom Kim.
Like chubby Tom Kim?
Tom Kim, yes.
I thought he would isn't he American?
No, he's Korean.
Tom Kim? Like my boy Tom Kim, like 24-year-old Tom Kim.
Yes. He's playing in it, yeah. For Korea.
Wait. No, I got to hear more about this story.
I'll tell you right now. So, yeah, look, Republic of Korea, Tom Kim, and beyond Hyun.
Wait.
So, essentially, in Korea, it's everyone. It's kind of like same thing in Israel. It's everyone has to join or do at least 2 years in the army. The only exemption is if you win a medal for your country. So Tom Kim can skip going to the army if he just gets any medal.
I'm putting all my money on Tom Kim.
him and Bian are fighting for a spot to essentially not go to the army for a couple of years. And obviously, I would not assume they're going to be on the front lines or anything, but they'll have to do some sort of service.
If I am Xander Schauffele, Scotty, or
Scotty will give it up to him. Scotty's like his best friend.
That's what I'm saying. And you have a putt to tie. You missed that putt for Tom Kim, bro. I'm sorry, right? Or are you taking the? Are you taking the bronze? Are you taking the bronze? Are you taking the bronze for the U.S.? Or are you letting your boy Tom Kim serve?
Tommy, let me know the army.
Damn, bro.
No. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that some countries are like that.
Actually insane. I did not know that.
Look, I was reading up because I forgot how I shared this with.
Holy cow. Damn, I like Tom Kim a lot too,
Yeah.
bro. That guy's like the happiest guy in the world.
Yeah. Bro, where did I literally saw this. It was crazy. Yeah, the DP World Tour competes here every fall, and Kim traveled over to compete last year. An odd trip, I believe he was preparing for the Olympics. South Korean men face mandatory military service unless they can medal in the Olympic Games. It is true. No matter how many majors Kim wins, he's going to the Army unless he can win a medal here or in the Asian Games. Talk about career pressure.
Wow. So he's got another chance in the Asian Games.
Yeah, in the Asian Games.
Just get it done here, Tommy.
Yeah.
Get it done here.
Yeah, and he can just win any medal.
Damn,
so he can
dude.
win bronze.
We're rooting for you. At least I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. So that's a crazy night staple to it. But
I'm literally in awe right now about that story. That's actually crazy. That's gonna be a story to watch for sure.
But so a lot of these guys, and what I was reading too about the course is that at the Ryder Cup, obviously like the hosting country, or the hosting team can change it to their liking. So a lot of guys played it. Obviously, the Ryder Cup, it's much different.
Yes,
because
I did hear that.
That when they played it, the rough was way thicker. They wanted to value more. They narrowed the fairways.
Right.
Now it's more what it would be normally. Obviously, it's a very good event. It's still going to be tough, but it's not as tough as people will remember it.
Right.
So there could be some really good scores here, and it's going to be
Australia's not in it?
Australia's in it. Yeah, Jason Day's in it.
Oh,
It's
Day's
Jason Day
in
and
it?
Minwoo Lee.
And Minwoo, that's right.
Let him
no
cook.
No Cam Smith.
No, Cam Smith.
Interesting.
Shocker. That's
Yeah.
actually
That is
that's
pretty.
a shock.
That is
that's
a shocker.
one. Because the rest, I mean, Rahm's playing.
Yeah.
Neiman's playing. Even Mito's playing.
Answer's playing or no?
Answer's playing.
Answer's playing?
Yeah.
And
So-
Carlos Ortiz for Mexico or no?
I'll tell you now.
Because both of them are live guys
I have
too.
them. Carlos Ortiz. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I figured. That's their duo in Mexico.
Yeah. And then you got. I mean, Rory, Shane. These are not live guys, but just big names.
Shane's
Hideki.
definitely a name to watch. He's been playing really good golf.
Oh, I have him on my list.
Yeah.
I've got him on my list.
All right. So then, who do we like this week?
All right. I've got 4 names. First one of them being Shane Lowry. I do like the way Shane's playing. Without one crazy, insane win day at the Open, there's a chance he just walks away with it.
Yep.
He even before then, he played really well.
He's played
with players.
well. Yep.
He's played well at I believe it was PGA as well. It was one of the other majors that was around the Cognizant, but almost won the Cognizant. Like he's had a really good year, and I think obviously like he's played this course a few times. He knows it pretty well, and I just like Shano this week. I think he's got a good chance to win. A couple other guys I like. I do like in terms of the Americans. Betting wise, because I love Xander this week. I do.
Me too. I really like Xander
I don't
a lot
know
this
if
week.
he's going to repeat, but I think Xander's
Would be epic.
he's too hot right now. I just for the value, it's not necessarily there. If you're going to take value on an American, I think it's Morikawa.
Fair.
Morikawa's another one who's had a really good year. He just hasn't been able to win. I think this course actually matches his game really well. You've got to be pretty accurate here, and he's one of the most accurate off the tee and to tee to green. So. I like Morikawa a lot this tournament. And then I like Alex Noren, the
good
Swede.
pick. Like that.
Another one who's had a sneaky, crazy good year for someone who's kind of goes not under the radar, but like he's not a household name. I think this is a perfect course for him to kind of get a big win under his belt this year, and so I like him a lot. And then obviously my last pick, the Norwegian,
You're lucky he's playing.
the GOAT. Victor Hovland! Yep, Hov, obviously he's going to be on the ticket. He's going to be on the ticket every time. He's played this course a good amount of times as well. And not having his best year, but we know how good he is, and he's fighting for his country. I think he's the only Norwegian.
Wow.
I think.
Let's see.
I could be wrong. I got the list here. No. Chris Ventura.
Ventura.
I'm not going to lie and say I know who that is.
Not even a clue.
But he's bringing home for Norway. I'm always gonna pick him. Riding my guy. So Victor freaking Hovland.
Yeah, I mean, what's unfortunate is that the gold would have been guaranteed this year for the USA if Sahith Theegala played. If Sahith plays, just check mark USA gold. But unfortunately, he's not playing in this Olympics for circumstances that we're not allowed to mention on this podcast. No, but in all seriousness, I do like a lot of those picks. Shane's obviously playing really well. I think that's a great pick. But I kind of like, and the reason I was asking about the Australians, something's telling me that one of those two in Minwoo or Jason Day are going to be floating in contention there. I'm leaning more the Jason Day.
Yeah.
Jason Day's really had a really up and down year.
Yeah.
But if he can put together some of these rounds that he's put together, I think this course he's familiar with how it should play, and I think he could play well. So I do like him a lot.
And Australia, just on a side note, actually having a really good Olympics.
Yes, this is
so
very true.
I did not
so maybe that rallies them and
I
gives
don't know.
them
Maybe
some
they are.
momentum.
I know they're good at swimming, but like they were like had a really good start.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And that's what I think also creates a very different dynamic in this, right? Because you're playing for your country, you kind of rally around the experience and what's going on. So that's a good point. Like I could see him kind of rallying off of that. John Rahm coming off a live win. I like him this weekend.
Live win, and he played well at the Open.
Yeah. I like him. It looks like he's finding a little something in his game. And again, kind of rallying around the scenario. I think he's going to really kind of play for his country and take that to heart and take it home for him. So I really like him. And then in terms of a USA pick, Morikawa is a great pick. I kind of want to, go with Xander just because he's hot.
Yeah.
But Scotty's first Olympic. I know you're not a big Scotty guy, but Scotty's first Olympic.
Yeah.
I think he's going through the check marks of things that he wants to accomplish in his career,
I know.
right? A gold medal would be a crazy thing to add into the resume, right?
Well, and also the fact that, obviously he's already won it twice, even though last year was a rig job in terms of Player of the Year. If Xander is able to pull this one off and then win the FedEx,
it's almost like a little internal battle.
Yeah, he should win Xander would win Player of the Year. So I guess there's still also like this outside of the FedEx. This is the last like big one to to kind of ring true and
And then I have a couple dark horses.
Hit me.
And I think I mentioned his name.
I've got one dark horse that I didn't mention.
And it's our guy, but Monaceto, the Italian.
Yeah.
I like him.
He's our guy now.
Yeah.
We got to get him on the pod. We're gonna start DMing him.
He's got a crazy good story, and
Pooch,
I'm a big fan
make
of
sure
him.
to get him on the pod.
Monaceto.
Oh my God,
the Italian. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's a name I like, playing very well over the last few weeks, and again playing for his country. I think he's rallying around that as well. And you know who I'm sure Hav would have picked, and I'm going to make this pick for Hav.
Do it.
Aberg.
Yeah, thing with Aberg, I like Aberg too. It's just like his Sunday things have been weird.
He hasn't closed.
He's somebody that he's too good to not win soon, and so I have no problems picking Aberg. Like
100%.
Awesome.
Let's see who else we got here. There's the South Africans always play really well too.
Yes.
Benzenhu and
they've had good seasons too.
And
even Eric Van Rooyen.
What's my guy?
Eric
Van Rooyen. Like him a lot too.
Stash.
I think they can be in contention. Come Sunday.
Yeah.
They've had good years. You know, I would love to see our boys Nico and Camilo go low. But they've had an up and down year.
I've got, I don't know if either one will win, but I think one of them's gonna show out maybe top 5. Is one of the French guys playing on home soil.
Very true.
Pavon has had
a
really,
great year.
really good start too, and a good year in general. Victor Perez could also, make a run. But I've got a guy that I don't know why I have no reason why. I haven't heard his name in a while, and I think this is one of the future because he's not in any of the any of the majors. Is Mito Pereira. He's playing Huaco in Chile. Obviously not playing together, but representing Chile. He hasn't had a chance to really compete with all these guys. It's
a name I haven't heard in a while.
It could be a name that, and I from my knowledge, I don't know this for sure. I don't think he's having a great year on Live. I don't know. I just haven't really seen his name around.
I haven't. The name hasn't been mentioned much.
If he is, sorry, Mito, but I like Mito this week. I think it can be something of him just chip on his shoulder,
100%.
wants to prove it to the PGA guys that he still got it. So
very interesting pick.
Yeah.
Another guy that's I think we gotta consider in some of this too is Seb Straka.
Yeah. That's a great sleeper. I love Seth Straka this week.
I really like
great.
that sneaky
Great,
kind of
great.
guys, right? 'Cause, it is a pretty loaded field when you think about it, So there's a lot of names in all of this.
It is. It's literally an
But
elevated event.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It's going to be a good turn.
I wish it was at 3 a.m.
I know.
I would love to watch. I actually might, maybe like either Saturday or I guess Sunday maybe. Screw it. Like wake up and just watch it.
Will they be those same times throughout the whole week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can, I guess, time it to the second half of the group because we'll be in contention.
True.
But because there's no cuts, so
yeah, you're playing. Everyone's
playing, I think, through. So
you have to stack them in a way that everyone can play.
Yeah. So maybe like just set a Sunday 4 or Sunday like 5, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Just
I'll probably catch a lot of the second half of tomorrow's rounds. But
no, tomorrow
over the weekend,
Yeah.
I'll definitely make sure I'm up to catch the
I mean, I'll be playing
finale of that.
NCAA till 3 a.m. anyway.
So
right when
then
I'm about to go to bed.
you roll back over and turn it on.
Golf just started.
At least when you wake up, it'll be on. So that's dope.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's going to pan out to be a really fun little Olympic golf tournament this
Me
year.
too.
I think golf has also just changed so much since the last Olympic.
Yeah.
Right? So I think things are just very different overall, which then is going to create a different dynamic in this for this Olympic. So I think it's going to be exciting. A lot of good names. Just people also know like this is like when you want to get in your best form as a golfer, especially the big names, right? That are on tour, considering FedEx is right around the corner. Yeah. So all these guys are playing for something outside of just the Olympics.
100%.
But priority is Olympics this week, and they're going to bring their A game, and it's going to be exciting. And I think there's going to be a sleeper. I think there's going to be a sleeper, so at least in contention. A playoff might happen. I think
I want to play. I
think that would be cool.
I want a 3-man playoff for gold. That all three they'll be medaled out.
Tom Kim, Scotty Scheffler,
Victor Hovland. That'd actually be my dream because obviously Scotty's my enemy. Tom Kim is Scotty's best friend. So by association, he's now my enemy. So it'd be a 2-on-1 that Hav takes the gold. If Hav can take the gold,
because the way it would happen.
No, my perfect scenario would be just heads up, Scotty, Hav for gold. Oof. Oh my God! It would make my year. It would make Vic's golf season worth it. Just to say that you beat Scotty for a gold medal is.
And what happens if he loses?
You'll never hear from me again.
That'll be the end.
Yeah. I'll retire from this podcast.
A Hav medal would be nice. Hav medal. That would be.
Bring a medal home, Vic.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. He can hang it there next to his trophies and exactly, and his conspiracy theory aliens that he's in love with. I hope we can figure it out because golf's better when Hov's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. Awesome. Good combo today.
Oh yeah.
Hyped for the next couple of weeks.
The juices are flowing, baby. The
it's a little
right
dull there for the last couple of weeks.
Here. I love it. I love it.
That little period after Copa died and Euro Cup died, it was really dark there for a second. I was like, what do I do with my life? But we're back. We're getting back into
baseball.
I know. And the Marlins fucking went on a fire sale.
Yeah.
And it was a tough couple of weeks, but we got momentum back, and we're on the uphill climb now.
Yes, we are. College football, NFL.
That also came out, which was dope.
Yes.
So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. If you've made it this far, you probably already are liked and subscribed. Yes. If you're not, please like and subscribe. And Underdog.
Yes. Download Underdog. Use code Tranquilo. It helps the podcast. You don't understand how much. So please go do that right now.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Adios.